Hello YouTube! This is Dyson Sphere Program, and I got this from a friend who gave it to me, so thanks buddy. Been playing a little bit of it, and it was a lot of fun, and I figured, hey, this is something that would be nice to do a series on, like every other YouTuber out there right now, but I am going to do this a little bit different in that I'm going to do mine on, I'll say hardcore mode. There's not really a hardcore mode in this game, but I'm going to make one where I'm going to do as little handcrafting as possible. And there's a reason that I want to do that. When I was playing with my first file on here, I ended up creating a lot of stuff that ended up being spaghetti and very chaotic and unorganized and difficult to continue further on because I did not plan out in advance. And one of the things that does help me a lot to make sure that I've got everything going is when I give myself a challenge like handcrafting is not permitted except for when you absolutely have to. Like at the very beginning you have to use handcrafting for a little bit. But when you restrict it and you make yourself have to build machines to build your machines for you and get that running, then it makes it a lot easier in the long run. So I'm going to go ahead and do a new game here. We'll just use this seed here, and one of the other things I'm going to do is bump this up to infinite because why not? Actually, the main reason is because I don't want to accidentally end up running out of resources while I'm doing a video for YouTube. That would be embarrassing. So it looks like algebra, but it's algebra. Algebra is where we're going to start. So we'll go ahead and jump into this game now.
Welcome to the actual universe. You may find it's different from our homeland. Should you be able to adapt to the laws of physics in a short time, I am your advisor and will help you through this mission. Everything here is yours. As one of Cosmo and the pioneer of the Dyson Sphere Program, you will explore this cluster step by step. By using the resources here to construct the Dyson Sphere to provide energy for the center brain to maintain homeland, starting from scratch. I have chosen a designated planet for you to start the mission, which has necessary resources for initial development. Now please drive the space capsule to the planet.
Alright, here we go. You can tell from some of the words and stuff that they use that the people who created this game are not native English speakers. But that's okay. I'm assuming because some of the updates included things like removing Chinese characters from the English side, that they're probably from China. But either way, this game is pretty amazing.
Now you are about to reach the designated planet.
And it's pretty easy to overlook some of the weird English because the gameplay is pretty good on here. So let's scope out this planet as we arrive. There's some coal over there. Got some more right next to us and some stone. Up in the top is some iron. So the only thing I'm missing is copper right now.
This is Icarus, a lightweight industrial mecha with powerful functionality. You can use the arrow keys or right-click on the destination to control its movement. In this mission, you will manipulate Icarus to travel beyond the stars and create miracles.
Alright, so let's get off of here and harvest this.
You can use the same operation to collect resources, such as trees, gravel, etc. In the meantime, hold down Shift and right-click to give a series of commands. You receive several items after recycling the space capsule. Click the inventory button in the lower right corner of the screen to open the cabin to view them.
Alright, instead of doing that, I'm just going to close these out really quick. This is what we got. And the first thing we're going to need to do is actually do some research. So we'll open up the technology tree. We'll go into electromagnetism. This will give us some wind turbines, some Tesla towers.
You can hold down mouse middle button drag to rotate the angle of view, or slide the mouse wheel to zoom in and out.
Thank you, unnecessary interruption. Finally, we can get the mining machine, and that's going to require 10 of these magnetic coils. So we'll activate this, and then as it says up here, we double click here. This is one of the things we are going to have to handcraft. So we need to produce 10 of them. As you can see here, we can produce 5, but when you hover over this, you can see each one of these is actually producing 2 of these magnetic coils. So we'll actually get all 10 just by clicking this. Oh wait, that was only one at a time. I have to update that. So we'll take all 4 now. There we go. And then, of course, we'll take a little bit of time to get into here. And we got that complete. Now what this gives us is some of these starting items.
To achieve ore collecting automation. Pick it up from the inventory, or select it on Gathering of Construction menu to build it.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is come up here to the iron, because that's going to be one of the first things that we'll need.
You can use the R key to rotate the mining machine for covering more veins. The more veins covered, the faster the ores will be gathered. If you want to ignore grid snapping, try holding down the shift key.
Okay, and we're not going to concern ourselves with that at this point. See if we can get him to say his next thing, that the machine needs power.
One of your production facilities is not powered. You need to keep it within the power coverage area and supply it with power facilities in order to maintain its normal works.
So now we will do that.
Wind turbine. You have established your first power grid. Not all power facilities has its power supply area. Use the Tesla tower to extend the area of the power grid.
Alright, and then finally I will use this tower. It doesn't matter where I put it because I just need him to say his thing and get it done with.
You have done building the first power transmission facility, Tesla Tower. It can carry out short-distance wireless power transmission and expand the power supply area of the power grid. Click on it to view the current power grid information.
Alright, and you can click on this to see here, or you can even click on this one, and it will show the same power grid information for that. Doesn't matter which one you click on. This has given us some of this iron ore. I'm going to go ahead and take it for now. And actually, I'm going to dismantle this at this point. So to dismantle the keyboard shortcut is X, in case you're wondering. You can also come down here and click this. And when you hover over it, you can see the X is the shortcut key for that. So next up, what we'll need to do is we need to create some of these machines in order to get going. So one thing we're going to need is the assembler, and we're also going to need the smelters. And once we have those, we can build the rest of the stuff that we're going to need for this. So I'm going to start with the smelter. It's going to need this, and that's both going to need copper. Does this need it as well? That's going to need some copper too. So either one I'm going to need copper on. So let me go ahead and activate this just to get it up here. Now what we need to do is find where the nearest copper is. So I'm hitting M to come up to the map.
You can hold down the middle mouse button drag. Rotate the angle of view, and hold down the right mouse button. Drag to roll the angle of view. Press N key to point to the front to the North Pole.
Alright, and because he's going to want me to do this, I'm going to go ahead and zoom out.
In the planet view mode, slide the mouse wheel to enter the star map mode.
So here you go. This is the current system that we're in. I'll orientate this a little differently. So we have basic starting system. I think, as far as I can tell, they're all roughly equivalent. There's going to be a planet right here next to the gas giant, and then there's going to be one planet that is going to have like a desert type planet, maybe lava or something, and then one that's going to be like, this is your desert, and then this is the ice field. So one's going to be dry, one's going to be frozen, and that will have other things later, but we don't have to worry about that for a while. So let me go ahead and get out of this view, come back. Actually, what I wanted to do is find copper, and I believe I saw some over here. So here's where we want to go for copper. And I guess there's, what is it, 12 billion, because I put it on infinite. So I guess infinite doesn't really mean infinite, but it means a lot, billions and billions. So here we got 16 billion, I guess, on there. So anyway, so if I just travel upwards on my screen past this, I can get to the copper. Copper's what I'm going to need next, and probably I'm going to set up my initial base somewhere in this part so that it's less work to go between these. But I'm also going to need some stone, and the coal's nearby too, so everything to start with is relatively close by here. So this is actually a fairly decent spot to be on. But for now, I need to go ahead and move up. I'll keep myself zoomed out a bit so I can actually see. And now we can just set this back down here. Again, it doesn't really matter if the placement is 100% correct, because we're just using this to grab a few resources immediately to do as little handcrafting as possible. I don't need to drop this down again. And yes, I'm aware I haven't put these into my suit. Since I'm not moving, it's going to go back up. But eventually I will drain my power, and I want to do that so that he does his little spiel again. That's one of the things when you're first starting off. As far as I know, there's no way to disable the tutorial, so that's just what we have to live with. Let me go ahead and take that. Now what we're going to need is, as you can see up here, we need these coils, which will take oh, it's auto-saving. It'll take some magnets and some copper. This will take some copper and some steel. So we're going to have to handcraft these for now. So for 10 of these, if we hover back over this, for 10 of these, it should do, when we click on here, we should be able to get the number of resources down here. Now again, remember, this is giving us 2, so we only need to do 5 of these. And you can see it's making the precursor items first. Now when I'm not handcrafting, I'm going to have to do all of these steps by myself, but that's part of the hardcore challenge, so that's why I'm doing it. For now, I have to do these in here, so we'll just do these as quick as possible. And you can see it already loaded them into here, so I don't even get them in my inventory. Next up, we need 10 of these, and we can produce 27. Now these also give us 2 at a time, so you can see the 2 underneath down there to say that this gives us 2 at a time, so we just make 5 of these to get our 10. And when you're starting, you can feel free to use handcrafting in here, but again, I want the challenge of getting everything as much as possible without handcrafting, just because it's the only way that I will actually automate everything that you see here and everything that you see here, plus the more stuff that we're going to unlock as we open up stuff. There we go. So now we can make glass as well. Okay, it looks like he's not going to say anything on this. I'll close out these. Alright, so when I put this down, I've got 3 smelters for free from doing this. But, of course, it's going to take more energy to run them. From now on, though, because I have a smelter, now I can't handcraft plates. That's what I'm limiting myself to. So from here, I've got what I'm holding. I can go back and put the miner down in another place. Obviously, I want to create more miners, open up a network, all of that stuff. But first, let's see what our next step is going to be. We're going to do this last. So next up, we want our assembly, and we're going to need these parts here. So I'll go ahead and tell it to activate. Now again, I'm not going to use the handcrafter to create these, so these are now off the table. That means that in order to create the gear, which comes from one plate over to that, then I'm going to have to create the plates with my smelter. So that's kind of the rules I'm giving myself. So from here, while I'm in range with this, I'm just going to plop that down really quick. And that should no longer be running because of this.
Which can smelt basic materials, such as iron ingots and copper ingots automatically. While you want to make the raw materials and products get in and out of it autonomously, you need to use sorters and conveyor belts.
Alright, so from here, we'll drop in and have it make some of these plates.
You can use the less than key to copy the recipe and the greater than key to paste the next building that needs to set the same recipe.
He's very helpful, but very annoying too. And so I'll just fire this up. I'll wait for this to be done. I'll probably put it in fast motion so you don't have to suffer through the waiting. Alright, so we got 20 plates here. Now I'm going to switch this recipe over to the copper. Alright, we got the copper. So now, we can close out of that, because now we have to build this in here because, as you can see, it's made in an assembler. So we don't have a smelter to build it for us. When you can see here, this is using a smelter. This uses a smelter, that uses a smelter. This uses a smelter, and this uses a smelter. So we'll want to automate all of this with smelters as soon as we can. This here requires an assembler. This requires the assembler. And this requires the assembler. So once we get all of those automated, we can come in here and build the equipment that we need to be able to mass produce these as well. But for now, we need 10 gears, and 10 gears is going to be... actually, I didn't want to do that. I just took all that from the miner. Let's go back. I forgot I don't have my assembler yet, so I have to build it here. So we come up to this and change this to 10. We build our 10 gears. And again, you always want to check. This is 1-to-1 ratio, so that's why we're doing it this way. Then we come over here. This is a 2 iron plates with 1 copper plate, making 2 of these chips. So when we click on this, you can also see we can make 17. So this gives you a quick overview of how many you can make. Now, of course, 5 of them will give us 10, so we only need to make 5. That will actually give us 10 as we come up here. So now we've got both of those. That's churning through this, and this will give us our assembler. And so once we get the assembler, that means that we no longer can make anything that's on this panel through the replicator. Again, you can feel free to do that on your game, and I would recommend it if spaghetti isn't a thing that you have yourself running into. This, again, is just making sure that I update everything I need. Alright, let's drop this down and have him say his little spiel and get it over with.
You have a building without recipe set. Please set the recipe you want. After selecting the recipe, you can use the less than key to copy the recipe and the greater than key to paste the next building that needs to set the same recipe.
Alright, so as we come back in here, the only other thing I'm going to build right now is going to be these logistic systems, because I want the storage, and in order to automate you need these. They call them sorters here. It's like an inserter in Factorio. And of course I'm going to need conveyor belts. So these are pretty important. But now I can't build these on my own. I have to use the machines here. So let's see, first of all, if we come into here and we want to build gears, we just click on this. We're going to need, again, you can hover over here to see the recipe. We need 10, so we need 10 plates. I don't have any plates, so I need to come over to here, switch this back to iron plates, and we'll dump that in. This will give us 20 plates to play with, and then I only have 5 iron ore left. But all that's fine. And actually, as I'm looking at the map here, I've got iron here and stone here, so I'm going to probably set up my base here instead of down here, because everything is right here. By the time I need coal, that's fairly close as well on here. So let's go ahead and take these. Now we can go back to this, and we need half of them, so I right click to split it in half. You can also slide at that point and pick the number that you want, but we'll put in our 10 sheets here to get our 10 gears. And these are still on the machine, that's why it hasn't taken them from here yet. Now I can dump them into there though. And now we want to see, what do we need for this? We need 2 sheets and 1 copper. So 2 iron, 1 copper. For 2 of these, again, we're going to need 5. So we only need 5 of these sheets. So we can, again, split that in half. Actually, no, we're going to need 10, right? Because we're making 5. But this one we do with 5. This will give us our 5, which is going to be 10 of these. And there we go, we got our 10. So we click that and we'll do our research here really quick. As that's getting ready, then again, once this is done, it's going to unlock some more buildings here that we'll be able to build. But these are now all things that we need to get automated as quickly as possible would be good. Now, one of the things we're going to want to do is build several of these wind turbines because we're going to need the power. We're going to need to build several of the storage boxes, and basically it's going to take some time to get this up and running. Need more miners, all of that stuff. But it's going to start slow, but it will build upon itself, and then everything will be organized at that point. So let's go ahead and close this. We did get some of these.
You have received the sorter and the conveyor belt, which can achieve full automation. Use the conveyor belt to transport the piled up ores from the mining machine, and the sorter can deliver the ores from the conveyor belt to the smelter for automatic smelting.
Okay, so what I want to build first is probably I want to address the power supply issue. So for this, we're going to need a lot of iron, we're going to need gears, and we're going to need some of these, what are they called, magnetic coils, right, to build some of these. We're going to also need to have more miners, and that's going to require all of the stuff that we already had. For storage, we're going to need some blocks, some rocks up here as well. So one of the things I'm going to do really quick is just going to dismantle all of this stuff. Get rid of that. And take this up here really quick to gather some of this stone, because I need some stone. Then I'll go over and grab some more iron. I don't have any stone yet, so we'll grab this, flip that around. Again, right now in this point, it doesn't matter how many things we're covering because we're only getting some basic supplies to start off with. We'll worry about how to organize everything later. But basically, I just want a stack of this. And so for a stack, I'm going to use 100. Alright, and then I'll dismantle that, which gives me the stuff as well as giving me the machine back. That way it doesn't start building more. And I'll turn over to here, and let's give us some more iron. And then this, I'm going to need to use a smelter with, so I'm just going to put the smelter there. And eventually, I'll need this, so I'm going to just set up shop here for the moment. Take that. And actually, one of the first things I want to build is one of these, so it's going to be 4 iron plates and 4 stone. I want to make probably 5 of them. So that'll be 20 of each. Keep that going because I'm going to need more. So we're going to start with our stone. We'll just put in 20 of those. Alright, and now that that's done, we'll go ahead and close this out, and we will put in some of our iron. Alright, there we go. And again, the fast forward button is a beautiful thing for you guys. So we want to build this first, so let's just see how many of these we can build. So we'll just dump in all of this. And we got 5. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put down one of these here. This is going to be just my personal chest for when I need stuff while I'm doing this.
Which can be used to store cargo. You can manually store or use the sorter to automatically stock the cargo.
Alright, and then once I build up other stuff, then I can start using these to store what I'm building from the other places. So let's see, the first thing probably that we're going to want to do is get miners on all of the main products. So we want 3 miners because we want our iron, we want stone, and we want copper. And we're going to need one of these per each to at least give it some... well, actually, I only need one from here because I can throw this down. But I'm going to want more power to use that. So I'm going to make 3 of these... or sorry, 2 more wind turbines for now. I'm going to make more later, obviously. We'll make 2 wind turbines for now. We're going to make 2 more miners. Let's see what we need in order to build those. So the miners are going to require 4 steel plates each. So that's going to be 8. We're going to need 4 of those chips, 4 of the magnetic things, and 4 gears. So how many plates do I have right now is none because I used them all up with this. So let me go ahead and create some more plates, and I think this is iron too, right? Yeah, so we'll put those together. Take that, and then I'm going to need some more of these copper plates too. So go into components and do the copper. Okay, so now with that we can come back over to here, we can clear this out. So let me look up my recipe again. So for the miner, we need 8 of these plates, and we're just going to stick with that first. We can do more, but let's make our 8 plates first. Oh, sorry, we have the 8 plates. Just forgot, we already did that. What we're going to need is our 2 electronic gears. Our 2 electronic components. So this thing, circuit boards is what they're called. That's going to require 4, so we'll need 4 plates and 2 of these. So we can just take down 2 onto there. And then I can actually just put that in because it's not going to do more than what that takes there. Let's get rid of that. We've got those. We come back up to here. Next up we need 2 of these magnetic things, and the magnetic things require 2 of the magnets, and those are straight ore over. And are those done in the smelter? They are. So we come over to here, close that out. We're going to change it to this. We need 2 of these, so it's just 1 to 1. Fine. I'll need 3 eventually, so I'm actually going to need way more than that, of course. So then from here, we can come back into here and change over to make these, which require 2. And then we got 2 of these. Actually, do I need to do that one more time? Yes, we need 4 total. Okay, so come back to here. I got 1, so I really only need 1 more of these. We can come back to here. We can dump those in and those in. Alright, so now we have our 4 of these, and then we're going to need 4 gears. And the gears, of course, are just metal plates, and we just need 4 of them. Now with all of these in place, we can just go up to here, click on this, hit mining machine, and it's going to be controlled by the things that we have the fewest of. So because we only have exactly what we need for 2 of these, we can throw all that in, and I don't need to count how many plates. I can just throw all of them in because the extras will not be run through here. So I still have 4 extra plates when it's all said and done. Now I have my 2 miners. So next up, I'm going to want 2 wind turbines, and then of course I'm also going to need some of these sorters to get that in. So we do have a couple of smelters for free that I don't need to worry about, but let's go ahead and see what we need for here. So we're going to need 12 of these plates, but there's going to be 2 more that are converted into gears. So we'll say 14 plates total on that. And I don't know if... yeah, there we go. So I want 14 total. And you can see doing this will make you want to automate. So I'm going to build up to automate as soon as I can, and I'm going to be automating everything so I don't have to worry about any of these individual steps. That will make sure that I keep my factories under control. So that's why I'm doing that again on there. But you can feel free to play the game however you want. For me, this is pretty fun though. Okay, so next up we can go ahead and make our 2 gears. So I'll do that next. And I just realized I had some leftover plates, so it doesn't really matter on there, but take our 2 gears. Then next up was the this one. Then it's going to be 3 of these, but I'm going to want 2 of them, so I need 6 of those. And 6 of those is going to take 6 of the magnets. So come back to here, change this over to these, and make those. And we still have 26 of these, so let me come over to here. Not, I guess I have to close out of that. Oh wait, this is the assembly machine now. Okay, good. So we do this. We're going to throw those in, Got that. Now, what's the last step on here? That should be it. So now we can make 2 of these. So back to the assembler. In buildings, we build this. And we drop that in, we drop that in, and we drop that in. Okay, and we keep those back. We take our 2 wind turbines. Now, we can come over to here. We're going to drop one of these. Actually, I want to put the miner in first, probably. And I want to hope to get it close to this so that I can combine these. Just so that they share the power, because I'm not going to be running everything. Obviously, this will stop pretty soon on here. So that's the stone, and then back down here, we'll give us some of this. Now, one of the things I'm going to do really quick is cut down some of these trees because I need the wood at one point. And I don't believe there's a way to get the wood other than doing it that way. So, turn this around. And you see, I actually think it might be better over here. That's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can I get more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now I'll hold shift and rotate a little bit. 1, 2, 3. 6. Can I get more than that? 7. That should work. Oh, and of course it moved off right. Oh, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I only got 5. Let me try this again. Now, because I'm hopefully getting this in a semi-permanent place, that's why I want to get as many as I can. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. How did I get the 7? That pops up when that comes in. Well, 6 is all I really need, so I'll throw that on here for now. And let's put this right there. Sort that. So now at least I can get these basic supplies, and they're all fairly close to each other. So really quick though, I'm going to click on that. Cut down a few more of these trees. Alright, so that will become important later. And let's see on here. So the next step that I want to do, I'm not even worried about doing any more technology at this point. I want to now automate everything that we see here, and that means automating everything that we see here. So the first steps, we have some smelters, and the smelters are good. Probably the first thing we want to do is smelt up these iron ingots and the copper ingots. We also want to get working on these two things here, and then this one. So these are the things that require smelters. So we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 smelters in all. We have one, which we're currently using. To be on the safe side, let's build 5 so we can have one extra one if we need to. So if we're going to build 5 smelters, then what will we need? We'll need 20 of our iron to begin with. We're going to need 10 stone. Do I still have 10 stone? I don't have any stone, but I got regular stone. I don't have the big stone. Let's make that first. So we'll come up to here, clear that out, go down to here. We'll make the stone, throw that in. Okay, and so while that's cooking through there, oh yeah, I want to go back to here. We're going to need 20 and 10 of those as well. Okay, so 20 circuit boards. Circuit boards are going to be these, but there's 2 each, so we really only need 10 of each, because that will double it to 20. Okay, so let's just make a bunch of iron and copper plates really quick. Start with the copper. And then I know I'm going to need a bunch of these, so let's just make those. Okay. Now, what make these next? Now, if I want to make, was it 20 of these? Make sure I'm here. So there's 4 and we want 5, so 20 of those means we need to make 10 of them from here, and 10 of those will be the same thing as 20 of these plates. So we'll use up most of our plates, and we can throw in all of these. Okay, so we got that. Then we're going to need 10 of the magnetic rings. I don't think I have enough for these, because 10 of these, well, we do have that, so we need 20 of those. That's how many we've got. No, we actually only need 10 of these to make our 20. Right? Nope, we do need 20 of them. Okay, so 20 of those. Or did I only need 10 of them? Regardless, we're gonna use them eventually anyway, but I think that might be enough for us to build our smelters. Except that I've now used plates, so I need to build more plates. So before we do that, alright, so now we can come into here. We want 20, right? I might be doing half of as many as I need, but 20 there. I'll just throw all those in. Let's see, how many of these will I make? I did make too many of those, so that's fine. But now I have the 5 smelters that we're going to need, which gives us 7 overall, actually, because I forgot we already had 2. We're going to use them, so it's not a waste. Don't worry about that. For example, I'm going to need to make glass in a smelter, right? Well, actually, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's the 5 here that we need. Actually, yeah, what I'll probably do is when I get to like the gears, for example, I'll probably make another smelter that's doing the iron ingots, so we'll have iron ingots separate from the iron ingots that are coming into this one, because we have enough iron around that we can do that. That's for the future, though. Not going to get to that in this episode for sure. Let's see. Next up, we need our power, I think. So, how much do we want to put in our power? We're going to need quite a few. So, probably need about 10 of these. We'll say 10 to make it nice and simple for the math. So I'll need 60 plates. We'll need 10 gears. So that will be 70 plates to get all of them. And then that's going to be 30 of the magnetic rings. So we need 3 times what we've already got. So for now, let's go ahead and fire these up. Well, that's going through. Take that because we're going to need more. Alright, let's make our gears next, so we're going to need 10 gears. And then let's see how we can make 20 more of those. I think I'm going to need a lot more of these. So if I want 20, I'll need... Tube will become 2, so 20 of those, right? Okay, so if we throw that in, and we're going to need 10 of these, I believe. Boom! Now that should hopefully be enough to build 10 of these. Throw all those in, all those in, and all those in. Alright. So now we've got our 10 power. We've got enough of these. I'll throw that into there really quick. Actually, let me do it this way because I can sort it like that. Alright. So actually, what I'm going to do really quick, let's get the power grid up and running. Because these don't have to be completely together. And I still have 8 of them left over for when I want to place these. Plus, I can make more of these. This will also boost our power grid. Right now, nothing's being used, so the stuff's low. But when I start running everything, it's going to begin to create problems with our power grid. So, all right, let's see here. Next up, I've got chests. I've probably... See, I've got 20 conveyor belts. I'm going to need more conveyor belts for sure. I'm going to need these definitely. So let me think here. So what I want to do... Let's close out of here. I'm going to leave this for now, but I'm going to take these machines. Because I'm going to want to build this out. Again, this is going to be the starter base, so it doesn't need a lot of stuff, of permanent stuff. I mean, clear out some trees. Okay. So this general area I can make for some smelters and things. Now, one of the things I will point out is a lot of people that I've seen doing things online on YouTube and things like that are treating this game as if it's very similar to Factorio, which it is, and Satisfactory. They are similar, but one of the things that a lot of people are doing is creating main buses, and I actually don't think that that's ideal. This game has better mechanics that don't require buses. So in the short term, buses actually could provide some useful benefit, but once you're in the mid-game portion, then they're really not going to be that useful. So what I'm going to do is not seek out to make buses. Let's see, one thing I'm going to do is break that for a second and move that over to there, just to give me a little more space here. I'll also get rid of this tree and that. And I'll probably be bumping other stuff back too, but right now it doesn't matter. What I'm thinking of doing is having this come out and then come over, and then have some smelters, and then have this probably go the opposite direction, because I'm going to want this. I probably I want to get, it's got 6 veins. I wonder if I can get 6 veins from the other side. Let's just try that, because if I can do that, that's going to be more beneficial. Long run. Ooh, there was something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It only rotates that one direction. 2, 3. I think this is 7. Yep, that will cover 7. So the only reason you want more veins is it makes it a little faster. So, okay, this being the case, we'll remove that one and bring that down like this. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and use this one. It's going to need to cover down here as well, because I'll need inserters. Actually, I'm not sure if I'll need one there, but let's put that there for now. Get rid of this tree. Okay, so what I'm going to do is have this row come up this way, this come down this way, and then where our iron and copper need, where we need both, for example, in this and this, they both need iron and copper. Then we can have assembly machines nearby here for those. That means I do want to move this. Does that work? It does work over here, but I'm going to need... I think it was here, so moving it back one hopefully will be enough. I'll probably, in the near future, make some more of... Well, I do have another Tesla tower, so actually I'm going to do that now. Let's move this over to, like, there. And move this across to here. That will give me more space in between here. And, of course, I can get rid of that. I haven't used it yet. Let's sort that out. Alright, so I think for now I'm going to go ahead and leave this episode. It's almost been an hour to start this, so I'll break the episode here and come back later.